What's up everyone, and welcome to today's video. So we've just got past one of the probably the bloodiest weeks that we've seen in the market so far in this bear market, which is pretty impressive to say the least, considering some of the weeks that we've had in the past 6 months. But as you can see here, what makes it so much more impressive was kind of the price that Bitcoin was at. And we were still having these crazy red days, some days like way more than 10% losses. As you can see here, some big red candles caused by some liquidations, which is going to be the topic of today's video. During last week, we specifically saw some big red candles, especially these prices knocking Bitcoin way under 20,000 at an all-time low this year of 17,600, which goes way below the all-time high of the January 2018 bull run. Now, a lot of this here was down to basically a lot of people getting their positions liquidated. Some of these big players in these protocols getting margin called and being forced out to sell the positions at a lower price, and obviously causing more red candles down. Now, it was very interesting and kind of entertaining to see. It was kind of like a war going on between these big retail investors, these big whales short in the market in order to bring the price of Bitcoin down to be able to hit these liquidation prices to liquidate these other players these guys that were over leveraged, had borrowed basically too much crypto at too high a price, had basically overexposed themselves too much, and didn't take into consideration what could happen during this bear market. And yes, it caused the price to drop all the way down to almost 17.5. We are in a little bit of a relief for the moment, but as the topic of this video is going to be, it's going to be about what happened, which major players were involved, and going over what could happen in the future and some future liquidations that could be about to happen. So one of the biggest ones that initially caused this was Celsius, right? Celsius is like a lending platform. It's kind of like an online crypto bank where you can put your money in, you can loan it out, you can earn some interest and that kind of stuff. And recently, as you can see from my last video, the protocol's weaknesses had been exposed and the whole protocol started to fail, and these guys actually suspended withdrawals, which caused probably the initial dump on the market, which then was kind of caused like a chain reaction for these other big whale retail investors to kind of look elsewhere and see if they could try and liquidate anyone else. So Celsius, as of yet, now they have issued a recovery plan. However, I keep hearing multiple stories from multiple news sources, some being positive for Celsius, others being negative. Whether Celsius, a recovery plan is possible or not, or whether they're going to go bankrupt again, I'm not here to say that. I'm just we just got to kind of speculate for now and be ready for each scenario. Now, what Celsius do keep on doing, they do keep on adding collateral to their Bitcoin position, which obviously is then lowering their average price of Bitcoin and is therefore lowering their liquidation price. So every time that these retail investors keep shorting or selling the Bitcoin to try and lower the price of Bitcoin, these guys keep adding to position, which keeps lowering it down. So it's kind of a battle between these these protocols and then these retail investors trying to liquidate them. Who's going to win? We're going to have to wait and see, because Celsius only have a finite amount of funds and eventually they're going to run out, but also the retail investors as well. There's only so much money in crypto, and only so much people can short and people can sell on the market. So yeah, this story with Celsius definitely isn't over. If these guys do end up going bankrupt and having to sell the Bitcoin on the market, well, it's obviously going to be a very, very, very bloody day for Bitcoin, considering these guys have, I don't think it says it here in the article, I don't have a number off the top of my head, but I think it's over 23,000 Bitcoin, and that's just as of now. I'm sure if they keep adding to their position as the price of Bitcoin gets lower and lower and lower, they're going to have even more. So if the day ever does come when they're forced to sell all that Bitcoin, it's going to have a huge impact on the markets. It's obviously going to cause panic and fear, which is going to cause then more people to sell in the market as well, which should then could trigger more liquidations. And like I was saying before, there's this big snowball effect. So moving on, there was 3 Arrows Capital as well that had a number of their positions liquidated across several centralized exchanges. I think the biggest one was which one was it now? Yeah, I think the biggest one was on BitMEX, I think it was. We had some huge positions liquidated across several exchanges, which then just added to the fuel of the dump that was happening last week. And these guys aren't the only ones. There's multiple different protocols and staking platforms, and then other retail investors as well who were way over leveraged. The average price of the Bitcoin was too high. They've been lending too much at too high of a price. But then not only that we still have the USDD and Tron situation. Now, I'm sure most of you know about Terra and Luna and what happened there last month, which was another cause of a huge red week for crypto. Now, Tron are in pretty much exactly the same situation as Terra Luna, in the sense that they have their own algorithmic stablecoin, which is pretty much a copy and paste of UST. And obviously the fact that Terra Luna was exposed like it was, again, a bunch of these retail traders are that now trying to try and cause the same in different protocols, and USDD has been the latest victim. So you can see here, if we just move on, on a 7-day chart, and you can just see it was about 7 days ago. Maybe move on to 1 month. Yeah, it was around about the 13th of June. You can just see here it lost its peg, and it's not looking good. It's just been on a continuous downtrend since then. Since the market started to recover yesterday, we have had slightly moved up, but this isn't looking good really as it moves down here. And if this keeps on going down and keeps going, we can see like a significant drop in the price, then we could see people losing faith in Tron, just like they lost faith in Luna, and we could see a similar situation, a death spiral, which would also be huge bad news to the crypto world, and we could see that affect the overall markets as well. Now, so far, this has planned out a little bit differently than it did with Terra and Luna. So far, it's been, like I say, it's been going on since the 13th of June now, so it's going to be 9 days. Although it isn't in a good position, we are in a downtrend here. It hasn't got out of control at the same speed that Terra Luna did. Now, what Tron do have as their advantage is that we have already experienced Terra Luna, right? And I'm sure those guys, Justin Sun and the rest of those guys over there at Tron, they knew that their protocol mimics UST, and they kind of got to see a real life use case right in front of their eyes. So they got to see where UST went wrong, and these guys could try and improve on that. So as you can see, the price of Tron, obviously, this is when it happened, a huge drop in price. Probably less than I would have expected, but still maybe dropped to about 50% of the price. It went from 0.8 to almost 0.4 at the bottom here. The price has been holding pretty well since then. Obviously, there's a lot of manipulation happening. There's a lot down to the team over there at Tron and what they're doing. But as of so far, the price doesn't look too bad. But yeah, this is just another one of those, just like Celsius, where this story hasn't finished yet. We don't know what there is in store for Tron and for USDD, whether they will ever be able to regain the peg or not. And it's just another one to keep your eye on, because if this really does lose peg like UST did, then we could see a death spiral there in Tron. And so these are some of the current situations that we have going on in the crypto markets right now, uncertain ones anyway. All I can say is that looking at the crypto markets, even though we might be having a little bit of a relief pump right now, this certainly isn't over. We could absolutely see more red days like this come up in the near future, considering that we've got so much unresolved issues, whether it be with Celsius, usdd and Tron. Now we also have some problems elsewhere, as we've also got a huge sol whale is very close to liquidation. Basically, there was a huge whale that was using the lending protocol in Solana called Solend, and this guy now is very, very, very close to liquidation. I think he had about $150 million worth of sol, something like that. At the time, if sol hit the $22 mark, 22.3, the protocol will automatically liquidate up to 20% of the whale's collateral. Let's just go over onto the charts and see where we are with sol right now. Yeah, we got close. It's at a price of $25. Now, there's been a lot of action going on in the sol community over on the Discord. They're currently holding some votes whether to take control of this guy's wallet and liquidate some of his position automatically or not, which has then obviously sparked up a lot of debate, because this kind of goes against decentralization. And again, sol have already had a lot of problems with this in terms of pausing and stopping a blockchain. They've come under a lot of criticism for this because these blockchains are supposed to be decentralized. You're supposed to be able to kind of do whatever you want, and sol are again kind of acting as a centralized body, which a lot of people aren't happy about. But yeah, this is just one guy. If this whale ever got liquidated, obviously again it's just going to have such a negative impact on the rest of the crypto market. And there are a number of Ethereum and Bitcoin whales that are in exactly the same position, that as soon as Bitcoin or Ethereum does go under a certain price, they are going to be liquidated, and it's going to cause a lot of problems on the market. So yeah, just wanted to kind of give a brief overview of the current situation, just my opinion on it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is going to happen with Celsius or this is going to happen with Tron, because I don't know, and I also think a lot of the people who kind of have the opinions that also don't know. But it's just kind of like be cautious that it would be great if this was the bottom and we never see anything like that again. But chances are, with all the stuff going on, that we are going to have some more red days, and just kind of prepare yourself for that. Get ready with your short positions on certain coins, maybe for Tron and whatever. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about the situation with you guys and warn you about some potential liquidations that we could see in the near future as well. And so thanks for watching the video. As always, guys, if you are new here, we've got a link to our Discord group in the description of the video below. And until next time, alright guys, bye.